Welcome back to Hummingbird Hill. Today we are going to battle with some weeds. Okay, so I'm obviously not in the garden. I just got back from the doctor's and running to the store, and people should not let me loose in the farm store when it is right before spring, because now I have a carload of things to unload that have just added a lot to my chores list, but hey, why not? After I unload the car, I've got to go change because obviously I am not dressed for working in the garden, and then we are going to get busy tackling some weeds. So let me unload and I will be back in just a little bit and we will get started. Okay, so I told you I should not be let loose in the farm store when it is just about spring. But my mama, who is battling stage 4 cancer and is probably not going to make it to see next spring, wants flowers. I can't afford to buy all the flowers I need, so I'm starting some from seeds. Not today though, because today it is all about weeds. I'm gonna run change and I will be back with you in just a little bit. Whew. All right, all changed and ready for work. I had a little lunch and now the sky is beautiful, which means you can probably not see my face, but it is time to put my hair up and get to work gathering all of the cardboard I need to tackle the weeds in the garden. I will get that cardboard and I will be back in just a minute. You stay here. Before we get started down on the weedy end of the garden, I just want to let you know a little bit about what I'm going to do with the cardboard. First of all, these weeds aren't crazy. Digging them up, picking them by hand has really had no effect. They get away from me every year, mostly because I'm not so good at the whole weeding thing, which is problematic since there are a lot of weeds out here. And I hate weeds. I really don't like them. Maybe you like them. If you do so, please tell me your secrets. Other than getting down on my hands and knees and spending hours and hours and hours weeding. And in any case, I am going to use cardboard down there, kind of like the lasagna method where you pile up different layers of cardboard, leaves, compost, etc. in raised beds or in the garden to make some nice soil. Kind of like the Ruth Stout method where you use hay or straw or other thick layers of mulch to keep weeds down. And in this case, it's kind of like desperation. I really need to get that end of the garden under control so I can better use my space for planting. So the goal today is to get that end of the garden covered with cardboard so that I am ready for spring. As you can see, I've got my grub hoe, my spade, and my clippers ready to go. The cat is here to keep us company. That is one of the cats that was left behind when we bought the place. And she just makes herself at home and tries to trip me up as cats do. Let's swing on down to the weedy end of the garden. Grapes, I need to get these pruned. I talked about them in one of the videos I filmed, but then I lost that clip, so I didn't actually tell you about them. I'll talk about the grapes later. But I put these in about 8-ish years ago when I first moved out here. In any case, grapes, 3 different kinds. And here we have my embarrassing weed patch. You can see why I have been avoiding it, and why I didn't really want to show it to you up close. Yeah, so this end of the garden is usually planted in potatoes, and we were rotating potatoes back and forth, but obviously now with the raised beds, not going to happen there. So I've got, actually there are 2 rows of potatoes I planted I just threw the potatoes in the ground last fall to see what happened. I've kind of pulled back the soil a little bit. They're still there. They're not necessarily growing yet. We'll see if they do grow. We'll see about that. Other thing, as you can see, that is a huge problem around here are blackberries. Now, I am trying to grow some blackberries over on the hill, which is my whole other weed experiment, which is a huge weed experiment. I'll show you that someday. But I did a lot of work out there yesterday, trimmed all my fruit trees, and I got, when I went to the store, I bought 4 more berry plants to plant and a new plum tree, which will all go over on the hill, just not today. So I've got blackberries, as you can see, this whole area. The grasses are invading, of course, from out here, which I really want to put around the whole perimeter of the garden some flower beds or something like that that can help keep the grass back, because yeah, there's really no chance. So, the lovely chicken composting. Yeah, the stuff from the chicken coop comes down here and sits there. I wanted to use it in the raised beds down at this end of the garden to make some kind of like a hugelkultur bed, but with straw. Not happening this year, so that is just becoming really good compost. We'll see how that goes. Over here, as you can see, weeds, many more weeds. Oh, and a cat that almost killed me. See that one right there? Always falls down right in front of my feet when I am walking. So this was a pak choi here until Basil Bell joined me in the garden and decided that it was time for a tasty snack. So one of my brassicas from last summer that was growing, not anymore. I actually come in here and I pull up the weeds and I feed them to the donkeys over the fence, which they love. And let's see, over here, aha! See this right down here? This little itty bitty tree is growing and I have got to grub hoe it out. So that is the first order of business. I'm gonna get started with that. Ooh, that is a first order of business. I'm gonna get started with that, or I am going to get started with the brassicas. Brussels sprouts, grub hoe. Brussels sprouts, grub hoe. Grub hoe. Since the weeds are really the primary order of business, I'm just going to get right to it. So I'm going to put you down so that I can get to work, and hopefully I don't break anything, or the camera, or me. So here we go. Okay, sorry about that. Camera died. Small technical difficulty. I'm going to go grab the grub hoe and then I am going to get to work. As soon as that is done, I'm going to be covering this whole end of the garden in cardboard in an attempt to smother those weeds. Should have probably started that part in the fall, but now is as good a time to start as any. So I'm going to get to work. Be right back. That sprout is closer to the fence than I thought. I'm going to have to get serious with it. right through the fence, but that was easier than I thought. Okay, time for cardboard. The things you find in the garden. I've been looking for this since last fall. Oh well. Note to self, might be better to clean the garden up in the fall. Obviously need more cardboard. I have another giant box over there. It's a refrigerator box. That was a refrigerator box. But apparently my garden is bigger than I think it is, so I'm gonna go break down some more boxes and I will be back. Okay, I am back with more cardboard and I am going to get this going really fast. So there have been some montages already. Get ready for another one. Let's see if I have enough cardboard this time. Okay, my camera keeps cutting out for some reason, and as you can see, I do not have enough big cardboard boxes to cover that whole end of the garden. So I need to break down some more of my smaller box stock and get that ready to use. Since my camera is acting up and I do not want to torture you with a 2-hour-long montage of me walking back and forth with boxes, I'm gonna go break down those boxes and then get that taken care of. So, like I said, my camera keeps going out, so I will keep you updated on how the weedy end of the garden is going and how my battle with weeds is faring. I am planning actually on putting some potatoes in the ground fairly soon, which means, and by in the ground I mean I'm gonna put them on top of the cardboard, put some hay on top and see how it goes, because I should have done the cardboard thing back in the fall, but I didn't because I was planning on the raised beds, which, you know, sometimes things just don't work out. In any case, thank you so much for joining me in the garden. I'm gonna get things trimmed up, I'm gonna finish up the cardboard, and I will see you next time so that we can do some more growing together.